Alright guys, hope you're all doing well, hope you're all keeping safe. I really didn't want to make this video because I was expecting a state of the game today, but that's not happening as confirmed by Johan on Twitter yesterday. What's going on at Massive? On the plus side, TU12.1 is coming as planned, which I know many people are excited for, so that's some good news, but I am concerned about the lack of official news from the devs, so let's discuss what might be happening. Drop a like and subscribe to stay up to date with all the videos, and let's talk. So to start off with some kind of good news, like many people, I'm looking forward to title update 12.1 coming on February 2nd. I would be much happier if I could actually get a next-gen console, but at this point I've not been able to. I've been searching online daily here in the UK, I would say for the last probably 8 weeks or so, and nothing. So I guess I am excited for those people who've been lucky enough to get one with the 4K 60 FPS upgrade coming, but I'm also fairly jealous. So I'll just keep trying, I guess. Title update 12.1 importantly comes with some changes to the optimization station costs. What those changes are, we don't know at this point. It's actually one of the main reasons I thought the devs would have had a state of the game today, to be honest. And it's quite possibly the first time the devs have not really gone in depth over the changes coming with an update prior to it actually going live. I know this is a kind of middle of the season semi-update, it's not a big one, but for the most part, I'm pretty sure they still go in depth and detail about what's going live before it does, and that's not happening this time around. Last Wednesday, I did put out a video talking about what changes I'd like to see with the optimization costs, so I'm intrigued to see what the devs are going to do. I hope they don't just lower the cost of optimization, but I suspect that's exactly what will happen. And I don't think that's going to solve some of the core issues that I have with the system. So for me, there are bigger issues with this system, like the amount of different currencies you actually need to obtain. We have 6 different mask weaves, 7 different weapon alloys. I think there's like 6 different faction currencies as well on top. You know, to me, this needs to be pruned back quite a lot. Weaves should just be one currency and alloys should just be one currency, and that would just really make the whole optimization just way better, that change alone. They also need to increase the amount of shade calibration that drops and increase the frequency of places you can actually get this currency from. If it were me, I'd put it on all world activity completions, you know, missions, etc. You know, no one wants to be going in doing projects. I'd also increase the amount that you can get per shade level up. Right now it's at 1, which to me just, it might as well not be there. And I'd probably increase that to say 5 or possibly 10. I know that I'd spend way more time actually grinding shade levels if that were the case. With TU12.1 comes as well the Resident Evil collaboration apparel event, codename Nightmare. After careful consideration on my, because I basically did a reaction video to the trailer. If none of you guys have checked that out, please go check that out. But after kind of considering how I feel about that, I'm actually not too bothered that we didn't get the gameplay aspect of this. It was going to be a repurposed Kenley College. It would have absolutely been a zombie-esque type horde mode, possibly. It would have certainly been a zombie-esque type mode. Whether it would have been a horde mode, I don't know, but it would have been somewhat along the lines of that, especially when you consider that the reanimated global event will be going live the same day. So there's definitely going to be a zombie type theme to that. Would I like to see what they had planned? Possibly, but you know, I'm not that disappointed that we're not actually getting that gameplay aspect, because ultimately I don't really want zombies within the Division. You know, it's been put in a lot of other games, it's kind of worn out, and for me, pulling it in this universe, well, it wouldn't have made sense in this universe anyway, but doing anything more than what they've done with Reanimated to make it even more kind of zombie-ish, I wouldn't have liked. Like I've always said, I wanted it to be hunter themed or rogue themed, or maybe some kind of hunter horde mode. That would have been cool. This kind of collaboration, whilst it looks cool in terms of the apparel stuff, which is why I'm happy the apparel part is staying, the overall gameplay element I don't think would have been of any interest to me. So title update 12.1 is looking pretty decent at this point, as a small little update in between major ones. I say decent because I don't actually have a next gen console, as I said, and also we don't actually know what's going to happen with the optimization. But I did really think that we'd get a state of the game today. Now, I did say previously that I wasn't expecting any kind of news on the future of this franchise because I just don't think we're going to hear anything about that until after Season 4 ends, if I'm honest. And you know what? That might be why there was no State of the Game today. It's quite possible that at this junction, the next State of the Game doesn't come until after Season 4. Because I think then, and only then, have Massive been given permission by Ubisoft to actually reveal what the plan is for Year 3. Whether that be nothing at all, or something that we can actually look forward to. Whether that be new seasons or an expansion, I don't know. And with that in mind, I highly doubt that Massive want to have a State of the Game where they cannot answer the concerns of the community. Because let's be honest, as soon as that State of the Game comes out, the first comments are going to be, what's happening with this franchise? And it would have been worse for the devs to come onto a State of the Game and say, we're not here to talk about that stuff, etc., etc., than them to wait maybe a further couple of weeks and then have a State of the Game and address those concerns. So that might be what's happening. We've just had no official communication. Now, all of this, to me, is starting to make me think that the Star Wars drop on Massive may have actually been fairly last minute. And what I mean is kind of in the last couple of months. And I say this because of a few things. Firstly, the Ubisoft article after the last State of the Game on December 2nd said that State of the Game would be returning in early January, if my memory serves me well. The devs would not have included this in that article if it wasn't something they thought they could honour. They know how this community reacts to things like this, and I'm sure they would want to avoid any kind of backlash if at all possible. So it stands to reason that they were anticipating an early January State of the Game, or at least a January State of the Game, and then Star Wars got dumped on their laps. I could be way off with this, but to me that does make sense. So they've pushed back State of the Game now, knowing that the community wants answers, and they simply don't have them. If Star Wars had not been revealed, I think we would have had this week's State of the Game, because whilst I think the community would have questions about the future still, the Star Wars drop has really put that future into contention, and the concerns from the community are at probably the highest peak they've ever been about what's coming. Secondly, the news of TU12.1 going live as planned and no State of the Game comes from Johan, the community developer at Massive, via Twitter. Now, this seems like a very last minute way to reveal this information. Normally you'd get a tweet from the official Division account, but we've not had that. Or you might get some up from Joker on the official Reddit forum, or even the Ubisoft forums, but we've had nothing like that. It feels like Massive are kind of reshuffling things around and figuring out how they're going to develop Star Wars, Avatar, and the Division, and these kind of posts are just being put out last minute to kind of give you that last minute bit of information. Lastly, it was only a couple of months ago that Red Storm updated their banner. This is when I suspect they were brought in to assist with the development of the Division 2 Year 3, because Massive couldn't handle all three titles that they are developing. The thing is, guys, I would completely understand if the devs didn't want a State of the Game without being able to address the community concerns, because, as I said before, let's be honest, that's what everyone is going to spam in the comments. There's no doubt about that. However, staying silent and burying your head in the sand, it's not going to make things better. In fact, it's just making things worse, because a lot of people are speculating. Content creators, myself, just speculate about and stuff, getting expectations up or down or whatever, and no one really knows what is going on. What we need is a statement to set expectations. That's all we need. Something like, look, we're not ready to talk about what's coming next for the Division franchise, and until the time is right, we won't be having a State of the Game. This could be next week, or this could be in 4 weeks. We have seen the community concerns, and we don't want to address them. We do want to address them, but only when we can. We hope you understand, and we'll see you soon, agents. You know, somewhat very short, simple, but it just kind of sets the tone. It sets the expectations for everyone, and that way we won't have all this speculation. Well, we probably still have speculation, but we wouldn't have all of this kind of everything feeling like it's up in the air, and everything's kind of feeling like everyone's feeling like they're in limbo, because that's kind of where everyone is at this point. That's just my take. That's what I would do if it were my business. I'm pretty sure that Massive don't want this kind of backlash they're getting from the community, and I'm sure they want to address it, and I'm sure there's something that's stopping them from doing that. I honestly, guys, I really do think this Star Wars thing is is fairly last minute, and they're trying to figure out how to make it all work. But that's it, guys. Thanks very much for watching today's video. Hopefully we'll get state of the game next week, although I don't have my fingers crossed. I'm looking forward to TU12.1. The patch notes for that update do come out, I believe, on Monday. Johan confirmed that as well, so I'll be covering those patch notes. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with optimization. However, you know, I don't have... My expectations are fairly low on what they're going to do. As I said, I think they're just going to reduce the cost of stuff. I don't think they're going to make any sweeping changes to address the overall optimization, which is something that I would like to see. I just don't think it's going to happen. So, yeah. Anyway, thanks very much for watching, guys. And until the next video, Epic out.